Why is tokenization so important for LLMs? Imagine trying to read a book where every word is a jumble of letters or a string of random symbols. It would be nearly impossible to understand anything. That's where tokenization comes in. It's like breaking down that confusing mess into clear, manageable pieces. In the world of large language models, or LLMs, tokenization is the first step to making sense of language. These models are built on deep learning, which means they learn patterns from huge amounts of text data. But before they can learn, the text has to be broken into smaller parts called tokens. These tokens can be words, parts of words, or even individual characters. There are different ways to do this. Word-level tokenization splits sentences into individual words. Subword-level techniques, like byte-pair encoding, break words into smaller chunks, which helps the model understand new or rare words. Character-level tokenization treats each letter or symbol as a separate token, but that can make processing slower. Choosing the right method depends on what the model needs to do and how much data it has to handle. Tokenization is super important because it makes processing large datasets possible. Instead of trying to analyze entire paragraphs at once, the model looks at smaller, easier-to-handle pieces. This helps the model learn language patterns more effectively. It also improves performance because the model can focus on meaningful chunks rather than getting lost in endless strings of text. Another reason tokenization is key is that it helps models understand context better. When the model processes tokens, it can see how words relate to each other, even if they are part of a bigger sentence. This is especially useful for applications like chatbots or translation tools, where understanding nuance makes a big difference. Plus, tokenization helps save resources. By representing text with fewer tokens, the model uses less memory and computational power. This means faster responses and lower costs, which is important for deploying these models at scale. In real-world use, models like ChatGPT relying heavily on tokenization. When you ask a question, the model breaks it down into tokens, processes the meaning, and then generates a reply based on those tokens. Many productivity tools also use tokenization to summarize text, suggest content, or translate languages. But there are ethical considerations too. How a model handles sensitive or biased language depends on how well it tokenizes and understands the text. If tokenization is flawed, it could lead to unfair or inaccurate responses. That's why making sure tokenization is precise and fair is a big part of developing responsible AI. So, in simple terms, tokenization is the foundation that allows large language models to understand, generate, and work with language efficiently. Without it, these models wouldn't be able to process the vast amounts of text needed to power tools like ChatGPT or productivity plugins. It's a small step with a huge impact on how AI interacts with our words every day.